I'm Russ Jones. Welcome back to another episode of Smoky Ribs. It was 1 week ago yesterday that I took a little trip out to Willis, Texas to go visit the fine people over there at Lone Star Grillz. Now I left out of here about 1:30 in the a.m. It was pitch black dark. It was about a 7-8 hour drive. We arrived there at the Lone Star Grillz facility around 9 o'clock to pick up a brand new 24 by 36 offset smoker. And when I walked up on this smoker, I was just super impressed with the size of it. These smokers are really designed for the backyard barbecuer. This thing is built like a tank. Can't wait to show you. So stick around and check this smoker out.
If you wanna cook backyard barbecue till you get your feel, you come to the right place. Russ Jones Smoky Ribs. Smoky Ribs. Smoky
Isn't she a beaut, man? This thing is got some excellent work, craftsmanship. I've been a pipe welder for going on 40 years, and I know good quality work when I see it, and I'm telling you, this is top of the line. All right, we're going to start right here. Now, this is your multifunctional firebox. This can be used as a griddle. It can also be used as a hot plate if you want to do beans or whatever on this hot plate here. Now, I've sprayed all of this down earlier. I'm talking about everything on the inside. Everything's got a coat of PAM, which is canola oil. And we're going to be firing it up here shortly, and we're going to be doing the first seasoning as well as setting the paint on this. Now, up under this griddle, you'll notice a grill. Now, you can actually grill steaks on this, burgers, just whatever you would normally grill. Now, if you look here on the inside the firebox, when you're using this grill, you can either put your fire grate up here or leave it down below. Speaking of fire grates, this is a whole 1/2 inch carbon steel. It's been cut out with a plasma cutter. Very good, clean work. The fire grate is always the very first thing to go on any offset smoker. This is going to last a lifetime. This will still be around when my granddaughter is my age. If this thing is taken care of, it's meant to last a lifetime. Now, as you can see, these grates do pull out. This one's all coated with oil. It's going to be seasoned as well. This entire smoker is made of 1/4 inch steel. That is very heavy steel for a smoker. That's really going to help retain the heat and is going to make this smoker very efficient compared to many. All right, now if you'll look at this front lid, look at the clean lines right here. I see a lot of companies, they'll actually take and weld right in here, and it's not necessary, and to me it's ugly. This is very neat, very uniform, and if you'll notice here on the edges, look at the tight fitting seal. You can look all the way around this lid, front, back, all the way around, and there's like no air gaps in this whatsoever. All right, now this is our cooking area. They do pull out. This is big enough to put up to 6 pork butts. You could put 1, 2, 3 briskets right here. This isn't even talking about the top grate. Now you can remove the top grate if you want to do turkey, ham, such as that. So there's plenty of cooking area here. If you look in here, these are the tuning plates. Now what this allows you to do is allow you to get an even heat all across your smoker. They are fully adjustable, and I'm going to be playing around with that when I fire this thing up momentarily, and I'll make my final adjustments from there. If you want a hot side and a cooler side, you do it with this. If you want your heat all the same, you do it with this. So we're going to be playing with that, like I said, and I'll fine tune it. Then I'm going to put permanent marks where I want it at. Last week when I went over to Lone Star Grillz there in Willis, Texas, Chris Goodlander, he did a complete walkthrough of this grill. We were shooting video. Only problem is I used a shotgun mic instead of bringing my lavalier mics, and the highway noise was just terrible that day.
Like I said, on the tuning plates, we can mark those. You know where they go. On my trailer pits, they're going to have screws that lock them in place. And on the trailers, that's not going to be an issue. Talking about the temperature difference.
and you really can't hear it. So with that said, I had to do this myself right here where it's a little bit quieter. So anyway, let's carry on. If you notice right here on the top lid, this prevents grease from dripping out of your lid when you're cooking. It'll catch here and go right back into your actual pit. This is a True Tale thermometer, custom made for Lone Star Grillz. Now this is top of the line in the industry. If you look at this handle here, this is made out of 304 stainless steel. A lot of your companies are using the chrome plated, taking the cheap way out. This is stainless steel. Now look over here at this stack. Look how big this stack is. Now this is made for good ventilation. You want good air moving through your grill. And while I'm talking about that, take one more look in the pit here. And if you'll look right here, you'll see where the stack opening is. It's right across the bottom grate here, right where it should be, for good even distribution of heat and smoke. You can always detect a cheap smoker. If you'll notice, some people put them up here, some people put them on the top. It needs to be right there. There's an 1.25 inch drain that comes on every one of these smokers. It comes with a cap on it. Now he sells valves, which is optional, or you can do like I did and go to a hardware store and buy it. Instead of going straight down, I put a 45 and offset it. That way you can flush out. All right, now speaking of draining out, this grill is capable of holding water. You can actually pour water in here before you cook, and you can convert this into a water smoker. Some people like that, some people don't. The water will pretty much ensure that your meat does not dry out, but also it helps to really even out the heat from one end to the other. Now if you're wondering what this is strictly for transporting. When this was loaded into the back of my truck with a forklift, we took 4 ratchet type tie downs and went to the 4 points on my truck, tightened them up, and I'm here to tell you this thing went 426 miles without a hiccup. It did an excellent job. It held it right there. And if you notice here, all these come stock with this port right here. This is for propane assist to light your wood up. I might go to that at some point. Right now, it's not really needed. Now, most of y'all that watch my videos know that I love monitoring my meat in great temp with a digital thermometer, and that's what this is for. You can remove this plug. You can put your 2 probes in. You can monitor your grate, your meat, or whatever. If you don't want to use it, just simply put this plug back in. All right, now, close this up. If you look right here, this is your vent. This is where you do all your heat adjustments from, all your fire management. Your airflow will be adjusted through this right here. I really love this setup. And also, if you'll take a look at these hinges, very well built, very strong. They're on all the doors. Now these are custom made plasma cut hinges here on the top lid. Now if you can see the welds, like I said, I've been a welder for almost 40 years, and that's actually very good welding. It looks like that was done with a MIG gun. All right, also if you'll look, this comes with some really heavy duty casters. He has some larger wheels available as an option if you like that. And these do just fine. I don't have a bit of problems with them. Also, you have this bottom shelf, and it's handy for things like this. I've got my brush, my wood tongs, and my fire poker in here. You could stack wood in here, just whatever you want. Now, also, you'll notice this table right here. Now, this one is welded in place, but as an option, you can order these with a hinge fold-down table. You can also get them with a stainless cover on them. Getting back to this smokestack for a second, if you'll notice, all you got to do is turn this, and this is how you adjust your flow. But as Chris explained to me, when you're smoking with wood, you want to leave this wide open. Another option for this offset smoker is a charcoal basket, and that's what this is. It's designed to hold charcoal. Let's say you wanted to apply smoke to a brisket, let's say, for a good 3 hours till you got all the smoke you want on it. Well, you can fill this thing up with charcoal, just like this, and light it on one end. What you would do, this thing will hold like 40 pounds of charcoal, but you save an area to where you can put a chimney full of charcoal on one end, and it will start running and burning ever so slowly, just like a fuse, until it finally meets the end. I know all of y'all see me do something similar, a snake method in like the Weber kettle, same principle. And this will allow you to put it on top of your firebox, and then you can finish cooking your meat with this, which will allow you to go get some sleep. You won't have to tend to it, keep adding logs every hour on the hour, and this is going to really come in handy. All right, that's about it. Now I'm getting ready to fire this thing up, and I'm going to adjust this heat somewhere between 225 and 250, and we're going to let this run for around 6 hours. The way Chris explained to me, I'm not only seasoning the inside of the pit, I'm also setting the paint on this. So it requires anywhere between 3 to 6 hours. I'm going a full 6 hours. It's going to give me time to play with these tuning plates and really figure out how to run this grill before I do my first cook on it, which happens to be next weekend. We got friends coming over. That'll be the first actual cook. So let me go ahead and get this started, and I'll bring you along for that. All right, so the way I'm going to start this fire, like I said, this is strictly for seasoning, and it's for setting the paint. I'm using charcoal at first, right here. We're just going to put a bed of charcoal in. I'm going to lay 1 stick of wood on here. And we're just going to let that ride just like that. We're going to start it ever so slowly, if you know what I'm saying. Just 1 stick at a time. We're going to bring this temperature up very slowly. So I started with 1 piece of wood laying on some charcoal just to get it lit, get some heat going on. And I brought it up slowly, slowly, slowly for the last hour and a half because of the paint. You want to bring it up very slowly, and you want to have your temperature somewhere between 225 and 250. And that's where we're at. We're between 225 and 250. Now once I see that it surpasses 250, I'll start adjusting my bottom vent. My bottom vent is wide open. My stack over here, my chimney is wide open, and we're doing good. What I done is I took the 1 stick, then I added a second and a third and a fourth. I have like 5 sticks of wood in there right now, and that's where I'm at. I'm at my target temperature for cooking, but I'm also at my target temperature for seasoning and setting the paint on this. So next time I fire this thing up, I'm going to start with like 4 to 5 sticks of wood. It takes approximately 1 hour from the time you light your wood to get it ready to smoke meat. And all you have to do after that point is just maintain it every hour, hour and a half by adding another stick or maybe 2, depending on the size of the wood. So we're looking good. This thing is performing outstanding. Just want to get you up to speed to where I'm at. All right, now let's see. It's getting a little dark out here. You can see by the color of this, the oil that I sprayed is starting to get a good seasoning, just the color of it. And in time, every cook, this is going to get almost where it's all black in here. It's going to be so well seasoned. So it's well on its way to a well seasoned grill. Today, 6 hours into this, and that's what we're shooting for. The paint should be good and set, or should be shortly. So that's the end of that, okay? Next weekend, we're going to be doing our first cook with it. And hope you stay tuned for that. And I would like to thank my good friend Robert Thompson that owns Coastal Towing for helping me with this bad boy. When I was out there in Texas, Chris said, I know how we're going to get it on your truck. They used a forklift. They pulled up under it, and they easily put it on there, no problem. But he asked me, he said, how in the world are you going to get it off of your truck? This thing weighs almost 900 pounds. So I'm like, wow, I really don't know is what I'm thinking, you know. So on the way home, I called my buddy Robert. He has a rollback tow truck. He backed right up to my tailgate, perfectly aligned. He took his winch, he pulled the grill onto his rollback, and from there down on my driveway, and from there it's on wheels. I can roll it anywhere I want. So problem solved. Thank you, Rob. Appreciate it, buddy. I owe you one. All right, stay tuned next week, and until then, I'm out. Next time, smoke your ribs.